Okay, hello, good afternoon. I'm Isabella Gonzalez, and for my management class, we're conducting some interviews to collect some research um, between different groups of people who work with management and employment. And we trying to find connections of what works best with people who work with management. So I will be performing a few questions, but I would first love to ask, what do you do in your company? And well, yeah, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
How are you? My name is Victor Roman. Currently, I'm working as a general manager at Costa Regia, the Long Point location. I've been working here in this location for a couple of months.
Okay. So let's get started with the questions. Um, what do you what do they do in the organization that you work in? What do they focus on? Or mainly what do you focus on? Let's say that.
Okay, so my first point here as a general manager is a service. Is the expectation from us to the customer,
Mhm.
to everybody. So number one rule to me is everybody needs to focus on the customer and the service.
Okay.
After that, we work on, like the environment, as you say, try to make everything like between fun and relax it in a really good environment. Well, where everybody can feel like a welcome and, and with that spirit, pass, pass that spirit to the customer. So everybody come here to work, focusing on the service, but the ambience and I will say the ambience of the company between each collaborator has to be really good, and it's really important to in order to focus on the service.
Okay, thank you. I would like to focus a little bit on you. I know that you're a general manager, but how do you feel your support from let's say from the owner or the people who have higher rank? Do you feel supported of what you do? I don't know if I don't know if I worded that question very well, but
I understand. Um, Sometimes, sometimes we need like address some points. We have questions. They can help us. I don't have a lot of communication, I will say right now, with the owner, for example. Sometimes, because I understand that he's busy, I don't try to bother. I try to understand, in the few words that he expressed to me, to understand the main goal to the company. And I have any like super important question, I gonna through them. I have another person that support me a lot, but I will say I wish that the communication can be better, and more supervision. I will say also because there is a lot of things that day by day we make that we want people to see as well. Improvement or change that we make in order to the company grow or have a better consistency.
mhm.
But the time that we spend right here with my supervisor or with the owner is very limited.
Okay. So one of the things maybe is like having a little bit of more time with those type of people and like review um, those type of stuff, right?
Yes, review the progress. For example, something happened like last week, and hey, this happened last week. So it's not just like a, hey, this happened last week. You need to fix it. It's something like the support, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this happened last week. How you gonna handle it? So this is, I don't know, my point of view. I think we can do. We can handle it in this way. What do you think, Victor? I think we can do, and so make as a group idea. I don't need, that they have to approve every single thing that I do,
Mhm.
but I will say if everybody have a supervisor that go to the store and focus on the main thing, every single location can have a better consistency, and every single location can work in the same way, because I can have my own point of view, the same thing happening in a different location, the other manager have a different point of view.
Yeah.
So what that's why we need one supervisor to go is going, to all location, and it's just one word. That's the main thing to me in restaurants. One word, doesn't matter who say it, but it's one word for all locations.
Yes, of course. Okay, so um, do you think your relationship with other workers, other coworkers affects your work?
Not really at this time of my life, but the environment can be better. I will say I'm working on that as well. Nobody requested to me to work on that, but I'm trying because I know how you can feel working in a place that you don't want to be, or you have a personal issue with other people.
Yes.
But so at this point, I thanks to my experience, I can handle it. But there's so many people, some young people that come to be a server, and the other team, the old team doesn't treat them like well. I
Hmm.
will say yes. That's why the managers need to support them and make everything equal, and be attentive to
Hmm.
to fix any misunderstanding or any fault or respect,
Yes.
things like that. But I will say in my case, everybody can say anything about me, because I knew on this location I made some change. Everybody gonna say something, right? Oh, this is a new manager. He's not gonna last. Oh, yes, he's coming with all these ideas, and it doesn't matter because he's gonna leave soon. But I understand that because I have a lot of experience. But that's why I am having meetings with every single person and telling, hey, this is my new idea. I'm trying to improve. Everything is positive. What I bring into the table to this location, because I'm working I used to work in multiple locations, and the behavior of the people is the same. It's different people working in different locations, but you have a profile.
Yeah.
Like this is the people with bad habits, for example, people with they're negative, they have a lot like or maybe other people that are really defensive because they're working here for 10 years, and this a new manager coming here. He's not going to tell me what to do because I'm working here more than you. But I can handle all that, different people in a different levels, right? It's not too crazy. But my way to fix that is having a face-to-face conversations,
Yeah.
because what we everybody like me and the owners want is everything positive, right? Is improve, is room for improvement for everybody. So that's my idea, but I don't have any problem. I don't know if I changed that question, but
Oh, you're fine. It was great. Um, I do, how do you manage, or how do you do with people? How do you try to fix with people who have like those bad attitudes or those bad qualities? How do you try to fix them?
I will say bad quality is different, right? Because it's like there's two things, right? In restaurant or in general, is he doesn't know how to do it because nobody showed them, So they in my case, I need to understand that and give them the opportunity, because if the person wasn't trained right, it's not their fault. It's the
Mhm.
company fault. It's not my fault either, but I always try to help them. So two things, right? They don't know, and the other one is they don't care. So any of those, I think, if you don't care, I will try to figure it out. I will try to explain why you don't care, because there's so many reasons, right? It's not my job, something like I'm not making enough money, their personal things. So if I figure it out the reason why, I think I can work, I can do something. If the person doesn't know because it's lack of training or maybe lack of interest, I can work on that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if the person wants to learn, I open to help them. Anytime they can call me anytime, I can show them everything. But if they don't have interest at all, sorry, I need to find another person, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them many opportunities, but it's gonna be no, we're gonna end on the same thing. So if you don't put your effort, somebody else is gonna do it.
Mhm. So maybe implementing like a stronger uh, initial base where managers can come and talk about these problems. I bet like many of the managers from the rest of the restaurants could be dealing with the same thing. So I don't know if y'all have a system where y'all can talk between each other or anything. And does that ever help with like
I think could help, but communication between I and the new ones. So I don't have any communication. I just sometimes, they need something from me, or I need something like items, like utensils, something like that. But we have meetings, but nobody never discuss things like that
Mhm,
because it's my location, it's my store. I think like that. I think they have this way of think. It's
mhm,
like this is my location. I know how to fix it. I'm gonna take care of that. But I will say maybe if we share more of these behaviors or these um yeah, these behaviors and issues that we face every day, we should have a better way to handle it.
yeah.
And we can have support because I know this is the way that the restaurant told me. Because sometimes something like that happened, and the manager doesn't know how to do it, and we lost time, and we lose power as well, right? It's like I have a argument with you. We have a discussion, and I don't know how to handle it, so I need to call to somebody else. Hey, this is happening. What should I do? So, it's not the right way. I try to handle it right away in a good way, right?
Mhm,
But it will be better if we have all this setting on the table also since the first day of the employee, because some people come here and they don't have the full information. They need to know everything, like
yeah.
the rules, the non-negotiables, the vision, the mission of the restaurant. The restaurant now is here in this level. We're hiring you because we want to become this second level, you
Mhm,
know focusing in service, young people, bilingual people. So we need more of that, because when we hire, I will say we always are in a rush. So, oh yeah, we need, oh yeah, come here, yeah, this is the teacher. Oh, obviously we have onboarding.
mhm,
We do, so they send an email to the employee. Is a long manual, but I told the other day to my supervisor, we should have a small manual, or like a handbook that we can read to the person. Hey, this is the main rules, important things that they can have the information.
mhm.
Because sometimes we say something like that in every restaurant is, yeah, it's like common sense, but sometimes people doesn't know,
Yeah.
because the first job, I never worked in the kitchen. I didn't know. Nobody told me, and sometimes it's too late, to blame them.
Yeah. So maybe from the beginning, get a wider idea of what you're getting into and getting like a handbook where you get explained everything that's going to happen and maybe what to do in certain situations that you might not know in a way. Are you suggesting that that could be very helpful for you to have like a better work ethic in a way?
Yeah, yeah, work ethic, because always any manager is gonna try to protect themselves, right?
Mhm.
But I don't know if every manager is gonna try to help the other person, right?
Yeah.
Because something happened with the other manager. Oh no, he needs to leave, something like that. So the company needs to prevent that behavior from the manager as well,
Yeah.
because using the power is the easy way, because I see something bad. Okay, just go home, everybody go home. But that's not my way, I will say, because we already have the people here willing to work. They're
Yeah.
coming every day. Maybe they need better trainer, better, yeah, better information,
Yeah.
more information. I think I try to pass the information as much as I can, but it's people, right, that they work for many years, and sometimes they don't catch the information. They understand on one way. I don't know. I just, like, for example, no, right? I am a server for more than 10 years, and this is what I do every day. I don't want to improve anymore. we also need to work on that
Yeah.
and realize that the kind of people, because we need people to, to can learn from the server to be a manager, because that's the point, right?
Yeah. So
And
you,
we don't have too many of people like they wanna or they can potentially be a managers.
yeah. So you want people who are more open-minded in a way, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Let me keep asking you. So, can you share a time when support from the upper or from your,
Management.
yeah, from management really helped you succeed? So maybe like give me an example of a time they supported you and it made you like it made your work a lot easier. I don't know, meaning
Hmm.
your supervisors, like,
Well, I have a situation in the other location when I used to work, and I have a communication with the owner,
mhm,
and it was a misunderstanding. Everything was against me in a point. It's not like I was playing victim, but I getting information about my performance, and that is important to me because it's important because it's my job, and I'm working in restaurant for so many years.
mhm,
So in a point, I know what I'm doing. So I reached him and tried to explain him about the situation, and he took the time to go and talk to me and fix the situation. It wasn't something that operations, it wasn't something like about the restaurant, but it was about the environment.
mhm,
And he helped me. uh, he gave me the time to explain, to say, my thing. He understand. And I think at that time I was right. Maybe sometime I can have an issue, and maybe I can be, the person that is wrong. But on that time, he helped me. After that, he helped me to move to this location. I will say it was something good to me as well. It was a new location, a bigger location. So on that time, I will say on that moment, he helped me in that way.
mhm,
After that, something really big. They help me day by day. I have a supervisor that we need people, we need staff, or we have people for training, and they help me, to make that transition easier, but not in like a everyday um, shift or like improvement week by week. Like we check in this week, we want to check the next week. What about the schedule? What are you doing, Victor, about overtime, about training, about performance reviews? We don't have that. We are working on that, but I will say they are busy in one location because there's always, inconvenience,
yeah,
and they have to focus on the main thing that they need to fix right away. I
mhm,
will say maybe they need help. They need more people to help, in minor things because it's not something like relevant or something that we're gonna fail right now. But if we don't take care of every location, including when nothing is happening, we need to take care. We don't have to wait until something bad happens to go over there and fix it.
yeah. It's have it like straight away have a way to solve those problems instead of waiting in a way.
Hmm.
Okay. So how do you recognize and how do you recognize feedback from your supervisors? And so, sorry, how would you say the feedback from your supervisors affects you, either be negative or positive? And if you take it into consideration, or sometimes you don't think it's right, how do you respond to that? Or what do you usually do?
Well, for example, we last Sunday, the owner came here to eat with the family, right? And something happened, right, in the kitchen. The food took more time than the, the regular time,
Mhm,
and I received um, kind of negative feedback, I will say.
mhm,
But I understand, sometimes I understand why or the reason or from where it's coming the feedback. I understand because they're coming as a guest, so I understand. I give that to them. but on that day something else was happening,
Mhm.
and we tried to fix it, but that's the thing that sometimes we facing different inconvenience on the location, but we still need to fix it, we have to handle it.
Yeah.
But on that specific feedback, I knew that he was right. But at that moment, I can fix it. We are working on that. And it's not something that you can fix it right away, because it's more than an operation issue that we are training people for next Sunday to be more staff, because one person no call no show on that day. And we also it's a process. We need the people to the kitchen to be more communicate from the expo. So the people from the kitchen, nobody has been trained as an expo,
Mhm.
and now we are doing that. So but it takes time because it's a lot of information. And in order to fix the issue that we have on Sunday, is taking care of the people of the kitchen, and try to find one person, the right person that I can work on the expo.
Mhm.
So it's like a couple weeks of training that we have been doing that. So, for example, I received a feedback, right? And I say, yes, you're right. We're working on that, but
Mhm.
it's not like that I'm going to show the solution right away.
Yeah.
So I understand. I don't feel bad, like personally, because I understand the point, right?
Mhm.
Unless it's something crazy, with our reason, because a lot of people, like owners, supervisor. I used to work as a supervisor too.
Mhm.
You have very limited time to check one location, and also you assume a lot,
Yeah.
because you go and you see the restaurant, for some reason something happened, the restaurant is not clean. You assuming, right? Oh, this is not clean every day. So I appreciate that the owner told me about that day.
Mhm.
No, this happened today and we need to fix it, Victor.
Not making,
And
sorry, not
yes,
making
not making.
a bigger, hey, this is an everyday thing, but just like in that certain amount of, in that time, he was the one who told you this is what needs to be fixed. Um, and I'm not making it like much bigger than it had to be. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
And has there been time where you have received um or not yes, accomplishments, but like I would say, have you received messages or or positive um answers from your supervisors that made you feel good and made you want to work better? Or
Only once. Um, when I just start working in this location, uh, from my point of view, the payroll and the schedule and the organization of all the paperwork,
Mhm.
like the plan, the forecasting about the employees, under my supervision. I'm sorry. So from my point of view, it was all disorganized. So I tried to work on that.
Mhm.
Moving the people on the specific areas or stations, because it was one guy, for example, working on dishwasher over there, on as a runner, busser, on the kitchen. So I organized all of that. I reduced a lot, like overtime,
Mhm.
and organized the schedule as well. And it's one of the supervisor that she's working on the she do she does all the paperwork about the payroll.
Mhm.
And she told me, Victor, you're doing a really good job. You're cleaning everything. You clean everything up. She's the only one person that told me
A
a
positive.
month ago. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
positive. You're doing great. Just keep it up. Continue like that, because she's seeing the numbers. She's seeing everything organized, more clean, more easy. Also, when you're gonna do the paperwork on the payroll, is one person making this money here, making this other money here, working that day, working double. So we organize that. But but eventually it's gonna deorganize it because people leaving. But we need to try to keep it up, maintain it as much as we can. And it was the only person. I will say I have another supervisor, the operational one.
Mhm.
she trusts a lot on me, but she never said like, Victor, good job. But I feel it because she sent me new employees to train. I need to. I am the one that training new managers,
Mm-hmm.
and also our communication is really good, and I know I can feel that she trusts on my work, but she never say.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner one day also, yeah, it was a really quick meeting. He pointed me a couple things about the server, and he told me, "Yeah, you're doing great. You come to the location, and you are doing great." It
Yeah.
was small, but it was something.
Yeah. There's
And yes, it helps.
I'm glad it does. Okay. What are some things that you would wish your work would do? I know we kind of been talking about like I would say more organization and like adding the handbook of like the rules and policies and people being a little bit more straightforward. But what other things you think the organization needs that could make you work more effectively and more comfortably as well?
I will say, mm, we need more supervision in order to see the staff.
Hmm.
So how they working, maintain like an order, like for example, how long they're working. They need a review. They need maybe an extra dollar, or raise the salary, or do things like that. I understand that they used to do it, but I will say right now, because we are kind of like understaffed on management, upper management, I will say
Hmm.
maybe we need to focus on that and going to location and see that good on people, see how long they are working here with us, what else we can do
Hmm.
for them. Eh, because I understand, for example, that it's not like you have 10 years here, every single year we need to pay you more, but it's based on performance. There is a
Yeah.
lot of people here that I think that they might deserve a little bit more. Uh, but that needs to come from the supervisor. There is a need to be a better communication with us every week. Come here and check who is improving. What people is showing them the most. Performance. They help a lot because they have family. They need the job. But I will say from our side, it's like about promotion. It's about to find a better way. For them to work, or like train them for other positions. I said like promotions, but it's like it's pay attention to the stuff that we already have, base it on the supervisors, not only on my point of view, because the general manager point of view can be a little bit like a distortionary, because I working with the person every day. I can say something, and the supervisor can see that from that information. They can work on that because they need to look on every single location. Maybe there is another person in another location that deserves more than promotion,
Hmm.
but it's based on that, because I would say supervisor is the most important thing to me, because it's taking my information, and that person is double checking everything. It's
Hmm.
not only what I say, it's checking what I'm doing, what I my all my performance, my review to that person, and that person is double checking everything. So in order to help this stuff, is that person be more involved on that, to see that good on people.
Hmm.
Not only oh, he need to do better, but how, what we need to do.
Okay. So maybe having different levels of of these people supervising you, you know, like having you as a general manager and then having an upper level who would look into all of that and focus on each of the managers. So having like a whole system where everybody is seen and heard with
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah, like a supervisor for front of house, and a supervisor for from kitchen, for example.
Yeah.
Having more communication for kitchen managers, what are the issues that they facing, what they have to do to keep the kitchen working, about the staffing, about training, more support.
Yes.
one specific person from kitchen only, and one from front house.
That
Yes, that's might help a lot.
So having like a strong like having somebody who will be there whenever you need it, like your the supervisor being on like paying attention to your needs in a way. That's that's okay. Thank you. Um, so what would how would you describe the culture in the organization or um the environment of it? Uh, yeah. How would you describe it?
Well, in this location, I will say not good.
Mm-hmm.
We are working on that. The environment is like people working here for so many years, and they take us a granted. Take like for granted. It's like this is my job, and I'm working here more than 7 years, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And I see passing here so many managers, so I don't care because I, keeping my job for 8 years, for example, and this is managers coming and go. Uh, but we are working on that. That's my main goal, along with the service, because I think they are together. Because if the people come here and happy to work, they don't wanna show a happy face to the customers.
Mm-hmm.
The environment is, I assuming right. The main thing is because there are too many people working for too many time, too many years here, or too many. Yeah, a couple years is more than enough to uh, make the environment like not healthy. We have like 3 meetings already, and I will say we improve a lot
Mm-hmm.
about like people being on defensive, negativity a lot to new things. But I will say we improve a lot trying to show them, hey, you have to put in the shoes of the other person. So if you're gonna do something that you don't like, to somebody do the same thing to you, you need to focus on the other person as well, like about scheduling, about helping each other, about talking, about drama, about more drama.
Mm-hmm.
So because I have a lot of women here as well, and this is reality, this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say I figured out as soon as I came here, but it takes time, to fix it. We trying to fix it in a good way, and to fix it in a good way takes time
Yeah.
because we are putting the right information and the right mentality to every single person. The way that they need to think,
Mm-hmm.
because we are in this is a job, and it's just a job. But for some people here, it's their life, so they want to protect as much as they can. But they need to respect the other people. But I will say it wasn't too good. People are really good. They are fun. They are young people. They are nice as well. Like as individuals, I told them, you as an individual are really good. You have a lot of potentials.
Mm-hmm.
But working as a team is when we sometimes fail because we don't help. We pick the people, so I want to help him but not the other person. Oh, it's okay to this person to do this but not the other one. So we are working on that. uh, I wish it was better this location, but it happens and it's my job to fix it. But I am glad that happened because I have the opportunity to explain them, the mentality that in every single restaurant or business that if you move to another place with the same mentality, you won't last. I don't know how you last here, but I want to help you. No, I'm going to give you information. I'm going to try to think outside of the box because you're thinking as you, but you need to think as a manager or as a customer, or see somebody out of you to see that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people are like very close on their ideas. And I saw that in a book that people are in the red or people are in the blue or in the green. It's about behavior. They can be a really good server, but the mentality is wrong. So they're okay, but they're not really good. I prefer people failing as a server but not failing as a person. Having a good person is better than having a good server, so I prefer a good person, and I can show them how to be a better server.
Hmm.
So we're working on that. The environment can be better. I don't know about other location, but if I had to assume or guess, I would say it's almost like the same, because there's people working here for multiple years. I'm sorry. I think it's not a reason why. It's not like, oh yeah, because they working so many years, but it's because of the lack of management. If I see that right away, we need to fix it. Hey, this is happening. This can happen here.
Yeah.
We need to stop the drama, focus on your job here. Facing the issues right away with with the person involved in the drama, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and that's the best way. That's the best. I will say from me is the honest way. So this is happening. You feeling this? Let's talk about it. It's not that you're right or you're wrong. Just let's say it, and
Hmm.
we figure out if that is right, seems right, sounds right to me, to the other person, and putting the information on the table, and then we can, have you see this from this point of view? Right. So we need to change that, please.
Yeah.
And if there is not many opportunities, we need warnings too. I have a lot of warnings here from a couple months, like more than five, and every single one is more about behavior,
Hmm.
more than the operational mistake.
Yeah. Would you say that maybe to fix the problem of people being so close-minded, of having a newer manager, that could be fixed with upper supervision, or maybe like somebody who has a higher rank comes and talks to the whole staff of the restaurant and makes them like realize like that you have the training and you're not doing this for no reason, that you for some reason you're here because you've learned about this and you've had all these experience, but for them they just see you as like the new manager of the new company, but every company works in a similar manner. So do you think it would be good if upper level comes and talks to them and kind of gives them an idea or helps you out a little bit with this situation?
Yes, I will say it's like a refreshing everybody that we are in a company and we have policies, and like now we have HR.
Hmm.
Like we we need to refresh on the handbook about the behavior expectation, about that kind of points, that sometimes is something like, it's not like something that you can measure. It's something that you can like, oh yeah, this is a good server. It's about mentality.
Yeah.
So having maybe meetings, I know I asking for a lot, but about behavior, about expectation,